Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the information that was released on the RS guys. I don't know if it's like a show or he's doing interviews. I don't know exactly what they're calling it, but he went over to Jagex kind of recently, and apparently they recorded a bunch of episodes. I'm not sure how many there are, but the first one came out today where he was talking to Mod Jack and Mod Sponge about death costs and the economy, and they revealed some pretty big information in that stream or in that episode. I guess they did premiere it live on YouTube, so it's kind of like a stream a little bit. But yeah, they revealed quite a bit of information about what's going to be changing when the deaths costs change, and it's a lot more than we thought. So yeah, and it's very significant changes coming very soon. Well, actually, I'm not sure when it is coming. I do know that next month is the Daughter of Chaos quest, which also comes with the changes to the wilderness, I do believe. So maybe we'll see it in September. Will be the death cost rework. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, the thing I have up on the screen here is what they posted on the RuneScape homepage. They posted this today, and it has some details about the free death event that we had. I think it was when Raksha came out. I don't remember. It's the one called Frank's Free Deaths. Yeah, no, it wasn't when Raksha came out, was it? I have no idea. I can't remember when this event happened, but there was like certain bosses that were on during certain weeks, which were, free deaths at those bosses only. So yeah, they released some numbers which I thought might be interesting to go into, and then I'll talk about the things from the stream. Or I keep calling it a stream, but it's a YouTube video. If you haven't watched it, I mean, I'd recommend it. The conversation is interesting, and interesting to hear the thoughts behind Jagex decisions that they're making. So yeah, it was pretty cool to watch. But if you don't want to watch it, I'll summarize the major reveals and also give my thoughts on them in the main point of this video. But first of all, let's go through this little article. They just have basically this big graphic which shows some information. So first thing you see right there is the amount of gold saved by the free deaths is a little bit over 1 trillion, which is actually crazy. That is an insane amount of gold that was not gone to death as a result of that. Now, obviously, this is very inflated, as people who would have been wearing Ring of Death normally would not be wearing it during this event. And also, there was probably more people PVMing than normal during the event because of the free deaths. So that's not necessarily indicative of how much gold would have left the game had the event not happened. But still, it is an insanely staggering amount of GP to see. And yeah, that's just wild. And just under 6.6 million bosses were defeated during the whole event. And then they had the 4 weeks, so the number of bosses killed each week is here, and it really drops off a lot after the second week, which is kind of weird. I don't exactly remember everything that was in each week, but I mean, God Wars Dungeon Week, I think that might have included Telos, but I'm not sure. So that's there. But yeah, the last 2 weeks very low in comparison. So yeah, that's just something interesting to note. And then for the most killed boss of each week, they have listed here. So if you look here, basically, according to these numbers, in the God Wars Dungeon Week, which I don't know what was included in that again. I assume the DKs would be in the Kings and Queens Week, but what do I know? But in the God Wars Dungeon Week, over a third of the bosses killed were Dagonoth Kings, I guess, which is kind of insane. And then for the next one, we had Kriara, which was, a little about a fifth of those, and then AOD again a fifth, Raksha nearly a third as well of that week. If that's how the correlation is, which I mean I assume that's what they're going for here. It's a little bit confusing. And then they have deaths for each week, and obviously in correspondence with the number of bosses killed, that's going to be a similar ratio in terms of how. Actually, that's not true at all. If you look at the first 2 weeks here, and then it drops off. It's about a fifth of the number of boss kills from weeks 2 to 3. But in weeks 2 to 3, it's only half the number of deaths. So there's a lot more deaths because people were doing elite dungeons than Raksha, and then Barrows and AOD. I don't know why Barrows, but AOD of course would have more deaths. So just some cool numbers there. It's on the RuneScape website if you want to look for it or look at it in more detail. It's just some numbers from that event. And again, maybe they have here when they put it. No, they just say a while back. So again, I don't exactly remember when that event went down, but anyway, now we're going to get into the big part of this video, and they do have the video linked here. It's on the RuneScape YouTube channel. Do watch it if you're interested. But I'm going to be giving my thoughts here, and they give some additional thoughts about what the design aims are for these changes. They want to encourage those who are afraid of dying to try PVM, which makes sense, I guess. They want to make top ranking and PVM. Okay, I don't know why. Top ranking and PVM players. I assume that is a mistake somehow. But they want them to feel less punished by deaths. They want to ensure that players understand how much they will pay for dying so they can make informed decisions about combat encounters, which I'm not sure how they're going to change that. I mean, it's pretty easy to see how much you'll pay with death cost thing, but I mean, maybe it's not right. Sometimes I don't actually know. Maybe that's why they said that. I never really use that. I just get depressed when I die and see the amount. But they want to analyze the state of the RuneScape economy and offset any reduction of GP leaving the game that results from reducing death costs. And that's a big one. That is something that they're adding with the death cost changes. And they'll foster open and honest communication with the community, blah, blah, blah. They always say that. So, yeah, basically, there are some big things happening. They talked about the reduction of death costs, and they go into all the reasons why. And, you know, whether you agree or disagree with it is a whole nother discussion. I'm just talking about what they're actually changing and my thoughts on that. So they're basically, from what they said, it's going to be about 10% of what it is right now. So if you're paying 25 mil in death cost, which is a lot, you'll still be paying 2.5 mil after this ish. I mean, it's still going to be based on GE value, they said, since that's the only real way to, you know, make it fair and scale with as the economy changes, I guess. But yeah, basically it's going to be a lot lower than it is, but it's not going away completely. It is still going to be a thing, as you know, that's just how they want. They still want to have that as part of the gold reduction, and they still want to have it as part of the penalty for dying, I guess. But yeah, it'll be much less punishing now, and yeah, that'll be important to know. But if you are one of those people who has like a really high death cost, you know, 10 mil plus, you're still going to be paying, you know, over a mil to get those items back. So yeah, that's something to consider and think about. I kind of thought they were going to remove them completely, given how many free death weeks and all that they've been doing, but turns out they're not going to go with that route. But of course, seeing that reduction to a very small amount in comparison to what it is now of 10%, they are going to be adding a tax to the Grand Exchange, or they're calling it a tariff. So, oh, I can get rid of this article now. It's not much, nothing else on there to look at. But they're going to be introducing a tariff to the Grand Exchange of 1%. And that is basically going to be removing probably more GP from the game than death costs are right now, especially given the other announcement they have for the Grand Exchange, which you might already be able to know what that is. But yeah, so whenever you sell, and it's on the seller side, so whenever you sell an item, you will get back 1%. You'll get back the gold you sold it for, but only 99% of it. So if I sold something for 100 mil, I would get back 99 mil of that gold, and 1%, the 1 mil, will just be gone. It'll be destroyed, you know, removed from the game. So yeah, that's how it'll work. And then of course, it's going to kind of be a balancing act, because like obviously it's upfront on the seller's side right now, but you know, you could just increase your price that you're selling for by, you know, that amount, that 1%, and then just get back what you would have gotten if you'd sold it before the tax. Which, so it's kind of a weird way to think about it like that, but still, that is very significant and going to, again, I believe, probably take out more gold from the game than deaths do, especially considering the fact that so many people do use Ring of Death nowadays, which doesn't directly take out gold from the game. Obviously, it takes out onyxes, which are often alked right now for their gold because they are actually below alk price, I think, especially because of how many onyxes Zami has been dropping. Yeah, you can see it alks for 1.08 mil, and it's currently around 1.06. So it's like a 20K profit at the moment. So yeah, that is a big change, and it is definitely going to be interesting to see how that affects the economy. A lot of the money that you are selling, or a lot of the money that you're getting, I mean, you're still getting the massive majority of the money, but you're going to be losing a little bit of it to this new tax tariff thing. So, yeah, old school RuneScape has had this for a while. I don't know if it's a flat amount. I don't really know a lot about old school, but they have had this for quite a while. I don't exactly know what they added it for. I mean, maybe they just added it to reduce inflation somehow, because as you know, obviously RS3 has invention, which helps reduce item inflation and stuff like that. But old school doesn't have it. I mean, I don't really know. Again, I don't know a lot about old school, especially not the details of why updates are done or whatever. But they did add that tax to the GE, I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure, didn't they? I thought they I mean, they definitely have it on the dual arena. Or did they remove the dual arena on old school as well? I don't know. What do I know? Let me look up on their wiki really quick, just to be sure. But either way, if they do have it or don't, it's still very, very significant to have been adding that. Free player, blah. Location, operation, let me see, tax, or maybe I can put search for percentage. Yes, they do have a 1% tax on the old school RuneScape Grand Exchange. And it's important to note on there, it does say it's capped at 5 mil per item. So that means if you sell something for more than 500 mil, it would still only take away 5 mil. But that does not really mean that you would be I actually have no idea what I was trying to say there. Sometimes when I'm just talking in these videos, I'll start saying something that I don't even understand myself, and that's what just happened right there. So yeah, hope you're happy with that. So yeah, 1% tax on the old school GE. That's basically what they're bringing to RuneScape 3. They did not mention any cap in the discussion, so I'm not sure if there will be or not. I kind of think there won't be, but maybe. And the reason I think that there won't be a cap, so first of all, for the tax, I think it's fine. Honestly, nobody's really going to notice this tax happening to them in their day to day. I mean, I know I'm not the only one, and I'm sure most people just, when you're going to sell something, you just, you click Grand Exchange, and then you click to sell it, and then you just like do this basically, and then you sell it. That's what a lot of people do, I'm sure. Even if you just click -5% once and put it in, that's still more than you're going to be losing with this. I mean, obviously it won't sell for that -5%. You'll still just insta sell it for more than that usually, but regardless, the majority of people don't have to worry about it. I'm not sure, but this will probably make it so that you can't really do flipping anymore. I would guess, but like you can't just buy an item to check the margin and sell it back, because you're going to have that 1% loss. So you wouldn't be able to buy an item for very little, buy an item for a low price and then sell it for a higher price, but not a much higher price. It's usually, less than a 1% margin on flips, I think. So that'll probably be not a thing people do much, if at all, anymore, which is an interesting thing to think about. You would normally be capitalizing on people's impatience and who try to do that, -20, -5% and insta sell things. You capitalize on that and, take advantage. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's fine. It's and again, I do believe it will take out more gold from the game than the current death costs do. So I think it's a great way to shift the gold reduction or gold sink in that way. But not only are they doing that, they're also doing something which is way bigger, in my opinion. I think this change is far more impactful than the tax or the death cost reduction. They are removing the max cash limit on the Grand Exchange. Basically, you will be able to buy something on the Grand Exchange for 3 billion GP or 4 billion GP or however much you want, all the way up to whatever the max cash number is, 2147 mil, basically squared, or times itself. So 2147 mil times 2147 mil is going to be the new maximum amount of coins you can buy something for on the GE. And that's like it's like an incomprehensibly large number that there's no way anything would ever go for that much. I hope. But yeah, it's crazy. And that will also be the amount of coins your money pouch can hold as well. And it'll only be your money pouch that can hold that. You won't be able to have a stack of coins in your inventory for that much. That'll still be limited to the current max cash, but you'll be able to have that many coins in your money pouch. So basically, there's going to be no need to have spirit shards anymore. As you can see, I have some spirit shards in here. People use this to store their excess gold that went over the maximum GP limit. But now, I mean, that limit is going to be so big, you're really not going to ever need spirit shards anymore. So I think, this solves a lot of problems with the current economy. A lot of things like Fractured Staff of Armadil. I don't know if Eldritch Crossbow is still up there, but I mean, there's been a lot of items in the recent past that have been selling for over max cash, and they get manipulated a lot by rich merchanters, and really just you can get scammed while you're doing player-to-player trades, which is never good. And they were just much more annoying to get and sell if you're like getting them as a drop. So I think it is very, very amazing that they're doing this, in removing that cap and basically making it so you can trade however much gold you want at once over the GE. I think it's really, really cool. And that's why I kind of don't think there'll be a cap on the number or the amount of tax, just because you're going to have this uncapped GE limit in terms of the gold. You don't want to cap it at something like, how they have on old school 5 mil, because you're going to be able to trade for many magnitudes greater than a 500 mil per item. So yeah, that is, I mean, I was honestly shocked to hear that, because people have been saying this is what we need. We need the Grand Exchange to go over max cash. This is, we can't keep going like this where we have people doing person-to-person trades. They never said anything about it, I don't think, that I've heard of, but they're just doing it now. They're going to be doing it in the later this year, and I just thought that from what they always said, or what people always said, that was just, it was not possible to do because of that. There is that max integer limit that they've been hitting for, the max GP, the max integer limit of 2147, etc. But they're doing some cheesy way to get around it. I mean, that's how they made it sound. It's like some little sneaky workaround that they've implemented, so that that's why, of course, the max stack of items isn't changing. It's just like something behind the scenes in the Grand Exchange, something behind the scenes in your money pouch is going to be changing so that they can hold so much more. But yeah, frankly, a huge change. And I'm really interested to see how this affects the economy. Are items over max cash going to go down, or are they going to go up because they're now kind of more accessible, because you don't need to go find someone on World 2 that's trying to scam you to get them. You're going to be able to buy them off the Grand Exchange directly. I could see that increasing the price, but I could see it decrease the price as well. How's this going to affect rare items like party hats? Since you're going to be able to buy one off the GE if someone puts it in there. That's a big thing. Like, is anyone going to actually put their party hat in the Grand Exchange for like 60 billion gold coins? Like, that's just so crazy to think about that being a possibility. Is anybody going to actually do that? Put a party hat in the GE for 60 bill? Maybe, and it's a possibility with this new system. So they also talked about how they want to address party hats separately, or discontinued rares as a whole, I believe, because as it is right now, and they acknowledged this, it's currently just a higher up group of merching people who are just passing the items around between each other just to inflate the price. They acknowledge that. They said that's what's happening. They said it's a problem, and they said they want to address it somehow. So I am very interested to see how they end up addressing that. It is not coming with this change, with the GE changes or the death cost rework, but it is something on their radar for addressing, which I was very, very surprised to hear, but happy to hear for sure. I would love to see something. I mean, I don't know what they could do or what they're going to do in that regard. Something Mod Jack said during the conversation, which I really liked, is back in the day, I think he said 12 years ago when he first got involved in RuneScape, a party hat was a goal for a lot of people. They want to save up a lot of money and get a party hat. And nowadays, nobody really has that idea in mind, because it's absolutely ridiculously high prices. And most of the time, it increases in price faster than you're going to make money as an average player. So, that he said that was something that's kind of been lost from RuneScape, is having that big, lofty party hat goal to obtain. It's just too far out of reach to even be reasonable to go for, which yeah, like I thought that was very very interesting to hear from him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do there. But the big news is the Grand Exchange limit of 2147 mil coins is being basically removed. There is a limit still, but it's so far away that there's no way I think that we're ever going to reach it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in some alternate universe we'll end up reaching that. I don't know. I can quickly type it out. I'm doing all these zeros. So 2 bill. I'm just rounding to 2 bill times 2 bill. I don't even know what number this is. There's one. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 zeros in front of this 4. So that's like 4 times 10 to the 18th power or whatever that is. I have no idea. Does that have a name? Who knows? It's crazy. It's a massive number and just incomprehensibly large compared to just the lowly 2 bill that we have as a cap right now. So I'm really, really looking forward to this update to come out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it affects the economy. And I mean, also the reduction in death cost is great to come along with it. But for me, this is a much more significant change. I don't know about you guys. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Did you watch the RS guy's video? I guess it's his video. I don't know. It's on the RuneScape channel. He was there doing the talking. I don't know. He was asking the questions. He did a really good job. I mean, it was a great video. They did really well with it. So I'm looking forward to the additional episodes if they have some more. But yeah, that's it basically. Let me know again your thoughts in the comments. I'll probably come out with a Hardcore Iron Man episode tomorrow or Sunday. So look forward to that as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.